Hello, welcome back. Welcome to Cracked Open with Coach Kristin. I'm Coach Kristin Fuller. I am here to help you find freedom from addiction and trauma that is keeping you stuck and stagnant. We're going to get you out of there starting right now with myth busting, a belief that I hear from my clients and students every single day. This belief is keeping you stuck. It is keeping you addicted. It is keeping you stagnant. And we need to bust it once and for all. Here it is. Actually, instead of telling you, I'm going to show you. Don't be alarmed. This is not what you think it might be. This is not becoming a different kind of YouTube channel. I have to show you so that you remember, because our brain works by using pictures and words. So now you're going to have both. I'm going to tell you and I'm going to show you. I went to lunch with my mom. We're only 21 years apart, so we basically grew up together. And she is one of my closest friends and confidants. And another woman to lament about women stuff with. And we were both joking about how even though we've been on weight loss journeys, no matter what we do, for me, I'm 48. No matter how much yoga I do, how many downward dogs, how many Kundalini arm raises I do, I am shredded, okay? But not here. It will never be here. The Kundalini doesn't go there. It's like comes here and up here, and then it's like, do not enter. Like, I don't know. And my mom and I were joking about it today. Yeah, I could get lipo. Yeah, I'm sure, like, I'm certain someone will comment and be like, you can do this. Here's the deal. I love my body. Even the waggle. Okay? So I'm not hung up on it, but it helped me illustrate an extremely valuable point in this video. And that is, no matter what I do physically, this is here. And I can accept it, or I can have a massive intervention, like surgery, to surgically remove it. There is nothing that I can do on my own that I haven't already tried that will take it away. Now, almost all of my clients, when they come across my desk, are doing the exact same thing. And what they're trying to do is spot numb an emotion, a discomfort, a feeling, a sensation. And it does not work. It does not work. It doesn't matter if it's drugs or alcohol or porn or sex or love addiction. You cannot spot numb an emotion. I spent decades trying to spot numb my shame and sadness of being a survivor of sexual abuse. And as a result of just wanting to cover up the feeling, just wanting to be comfortable, you guys, we just roll with it here because I do not yet know how to fix it. If anyone knows how to fix it, comment down below. Or if you love it and now it's part of the show, let's roll with it. Because I'm not in this version of me is unedited, unfiltered. So until the YouTube gods come to me and say, Kristin, you have so many amazing things to say and people adore you, you gotta edit out the fireworks and the thumbs up, and the lasers. It's ruining you and your message. then I'm not going to get hung up on it, because that would be spot numbing my YouTube channel. And I'm not available for that because I know better. It's not going to make a difference. In fact, I love magic. I love full moon stuff. I love crystals and fireworks and synchronicities. So it's staying for now. Just like the wobble. Now, I challenge you to adopt the mindset of, I am meant to feel this. I was a survivor of sexual trauma. I am meant to be a human that feels anxious walking at night as a result of being attacked. That is something I have had to overcome. However, I believed that using alcohol made me able to numb that fear. I would drink half a bottle of wine and go to the park, go for a walk around the neighborhood. I wasn't spot numbing. It all came back. It all came back. And then some. Because by the time I had the alcohol, I was, maybe a little more loosey-goosey. When I got home, my cortisol was so high. I was then so anxious, I couldn't even fall asleep at night. So I had to drink more wine and take more pills. I've worked with people who are like, Kristin, I need the alcohol to fall asleep. I cannot sleep without the alcohol. I have another myth to bust with you on that. You're trying to spot numb. You're trying to use something not meant to help you sleep to help you sleep. Sure, if you drink enough, you will fall asleep. Alcohol is a depressant. But what happens? In fact, this happens so often that there is a term for it in Urban Dictionary, possibly even the Real Dictionary, but it's called hangxiety. And hangxiety is when you use alcohol and few hours later you fall asleep, and a few hours later you wake up. For me, it was like 3 a.m. with a massive, crushing anxiety, spinning intrusive thoughts. And your belief was, I just used this alcohol to fall asleep. What happened in real life is used alcohol to help you fall asleep, spot numbing. You fall asleep. The alcohol tends to start to leave your system after a few hours. So 2 and 3 a.m, your body's trying to find homeostasis. Your cortisol is shot way the heck up. Your serotonin and dopamine have already been artificially dumped by the alcohol. So here you are in no man's land, where I lived, again, for decades. And 3 to 5 a.m, you're up, heart pounding, racing thoughts, because spot numbing doesn't work. We're not just talking about alcohol here. So if you're like, I don't drink, that's fine. You're not off the hook either. We spot numb emotions, feelings, discomfort with all different things. We spot numb with people pleasing. We spot numb with codependency. We spot numb with sex and love addiction, spending. Like, I could go on and on and on. What you have to realize, and this is at the core of all healing, so much so that it's tattooed on my body. The only way out is through, like an arrow. If you have an emotion that is causing you massive anxiety, grief, pain, discomfort. Do I think you should just walk around having to feel that? If you were shot by an arrow, do I think you should just have to live the rest of your life with that thing sticking out of your body? That is what it's like when we go through a grief or a trauma or an event in our life, that there is a significant before and after. They can be little traumas. They can be a bunch of little things that add up. And what happens is we get to the point that we've pushed it down, ignored the arrow, kind of picked clothes to go on top of it, around it, found all kinds of dirty Band-Aids to fix the wound, whether it be drugs, alcohol, what have you. It doesn't go away until you feel it. Until you feel it and work to let it pass through. What I didn't realize is not only was I masking it or in an artificial manner trying to dispel the emotion itself, I was making it worse. Just like the example I shared with you, my client who uses it to fall asleep. Clients, plural. So many people end up in front of my desk because they're using alcohol or other things to fall asleep. Spot numbing that emotion of, I can't fall asleep. I can't relax. I can't wind down. When we don't have mechanisms in place that show our body how to calm our nervous system, we go to what works. And does it work in the moment? Hell yeah, it does. That's why I used it for 20 years. Until it doesn't. Until it doesn't. And when it doesn't is often about 3 hours after you stop drinking it or using it. So then you're chasing the tail. And when you're done chasing the tail, or it's time to wake up and go to work, not only have you now felt the feelings of dealing with alcohol, now you had anxiety, so you're up half the night. Now you have to go to work even more stressed out because your cortisol is spiking from the alcohol, and nope, Zoom, you are wrong, my friend. It's a thumbs down. Okay? It was wrong that time. You got to agree with me on that. That was a no-fly zone. Yeah! Woo! Now we're talking. Can't spot numb. Zoom agrees. We got 2 thumbs down for going to work hella hungover because you're trying to spot numb the lack of being able to fall asleep. Now, if we don't do that, then what do? I don't drink and I sleep. So here's what I do. I start falling asleep, start my routine about an hour and a half before I need to be going to sleep. And that allows me to stretch, let my brain know, hey, it's time to start winding down. I turn down all the lights in my house. I keep things on a quiet level. I don't go on social media when I'm in bed. I'm going to say that one more time. I don't go on social media when I'm in bed. Why? Because I want to fall asleep. And I do not want to use something to spot numb falling asleep. When I am grieving and I'm hurting or I've lost a loved one, I have gone to so many funerals where people only know to drink to get through grief. Here's the thing. I'm not shaming you. I've been there. I've been there a lot. That alcohol is not only pausing your grieving process, it's literally increasing your pain. It's increasing your pain. It's increasing your cortisol, which is your stress hormone, and it's decreasing your dopamine and serotonin, which are your feel-good chemicals. And in the meantime, your body is going to be constantly trying to find homeostasis, which feels erratic and kind of anxiety producing in and of itself. So now you're adding your body fighting homeostasis, feeling inflammation from the alcohol. That is not a balloon moment, Zoom. Nope, it just isn't. So hopefully the words and pictures help you remember you are doing yourself a massive disservice if you think you can spot numb, okay, your emotions. They have to come through you to leave you. So we talked a little bit about like what not to do. Let me talk to you a little bit more about what you can do. Your body reacts positively to movement. Bonus, it doesn't give a crap what kind of movement you do. Sometimes I will belly dance for half an hour. Sometimes I will swing dance for half an hour. Often I do yoga for at least half an hour. Sometimes I hike. You can look, I've done Tai Chi, which is a moving meditation also on YouTube before. And your body doesn't care how you move. What it does care about is that you are. And the reason I'm such a proponent of moving your body every day is because not only is it good for your heart and your body and the different structures, it's also good for your head. It's good for your brain because it helps your brain send signals to your body to release stuck and stored energy, to release inflammation, to release heaviness and feelings of what I believe to be more of that stuck and stored energy. Takes up a little residency right here on the corner of my wing pretty frequently. So I know it has to move through me in order for me to heal. Just like the arrow. If you get stuck by an arrow, you either got to break it off and get it out and close the wound, or if it goes through and comes out the other end, like there aren't that, it's not like skinning a cat where there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. It's an arrow. Like it either has to go through or be removed so that you can heal. Same with your trauma. My trauma from sexual abuse was fought with to the point that I almost lost my life in 2020. And I fought it and fought it and fought it because I was under the impression that I could overpower it. I could be so funny and so engaging and such a performer that no one will ever know what I was carrying on the inside. And the result of that was almost losing my life to addiction and mental health. It doesn't have to be that way. It does not have to be that way. If you have been spot numbing, thinking, it totally works. I want you to ask yourself, what is the truth about that? This could be not even alcohol related, spending, all of the different behaviors that we do when we're uncomfortable. Okay. Ask yourself, why do I think this is working? What are the back of house consequences of me believing that I can dodge these feelings? What are the back of the house consequences of me continuing to just drink copious amounts of alcohol to fall asleep? What is this costing me in learning about emotional agility? Emotional agility is your actual mind's ability to overcome something. Well, that gets shortened every time we use a shortcut. So, do you not want to learn how? Because I feel you if you don't. I didn't for a long time. But guess what? When you do learn how to lose a loved one and feel it and it heals, when you learn how to show up in a relationship authentically, even when you're scared, even when you're afraid to talk about something that's hurting you, that's a superpower. That is a superpower. So I want you to know that spot numbing emotions doesn't work. What's worse, you may be numbing some of the painful emotions for a little while, but because spot numbing doesn't work, you're numbing the good shit too. And that sucks. Because when I stopped drinking and using, my laugh changed. I used to snort when I laughed in junior high. I got made fun of it. I got made fun of for it a lot. But I would laugh so hard. I have allergies now, so probably can't show it to you. But if you've heard me laugh, you will know that I snort when I laugh. But when I was using, not one time, not once. And now, almost every time I laugh, because it was numbing my joy. Was it numbing temporarily my anxiety? Sure, for a couple hours. And my joy. So when we use alcohol, for example, when we're grieving, it will spot numb your pain for a couple hours only. It's also numbing your joy. It's also removing access to your full spectrum of emotions. One comment I get all the time, right around the time when a client is about 90 days free of drugs and alcohol, they start to tell me, oh my God, Kristin, I laugh so loud, or I feel almost this childlike wonder and curiosity that I haven't felt in decades. It feels so light and fun. And my answer to that is the real you. That is your true essence, is silly, snorty, wrinkled nose, funny, playful. And all of that gets numbed across the board when we use chemicals to numb discomfort. So I want to encourage you to just think about this. Yes, I'm hurting. Yes, I'm grieving. Yes, I'm struggling with something that happened. Now, I was using alcohol to cope with this because I didn't know any better. But I listened to Kristin. I don't want to numb my joy anymore. I realize you can't spot numb anything. And it's time to make a decision because I want full access. Now I need balloons. Zoom, come on. Fireworks, lasers, give me something. I wish you would just listen to my words and then do it. But anyway, I'll do the fireworks. Fireworks are for you if you take on this homework assignment, this little challenge. What am I numbing? And what would it feel like to be able to manage that and get to keep my full spectrum of emotions and not have anxiety, and develop mental agility to learn how to actually manage this stuff. Because guess what? None of us, I don't care how rich you are, I don't care how perfect your life seems on the outside, no one gets out of here without what? DEAT and taxes, right? That's how the saying goes. And I'll say feeling emotions, and some of them are hard. And if we try to spot them, they get harder, they get bigger, they grow. If we manage them, they go through like the arrow, out the other side, and they're done. Bonus points if you're adding 30 minutes of movement a day to get that stuff out. I'll do an episode this week about some extremely powerful ways to shake out the junk, shake out the stuff we don't need anymore. Okay, so be looking for that. If this was helpful for you, please let me know in the comments. If you love or know anybody struggling with addiction or struggling with spot numbing or struggling with past grief or trauma, please share this with them. I would love to be the voice that brings you things that you might not have known. This stuff isn't really talked about in normal recovery compartments and arenas. So I'm trying to bring up stuff that is kind of on the fringe of the recovery world and intersects with psychology, because that's how I roll. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, share, comment. That's how I grow. And I'm so grateful for you for being here, learning and growing with me. Please comment below what you loved about this. And I'm always available to hear what you think I can work on. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here with me. And I will see you soon. Bye for now.